I woke before sunrise because I had another long day at work waiting for me. My wife Emily was already in the kitchen making breakfast while soft music played from the small speaker on the counter. Our 8-year-old son Noah shuffled into the room with sleepy eyes and messy hair. It looked like any other morning in our quiet neighborhood. Nothing felt unusual. Nothing warned me that one simple sentence would change everything I believed about my family. As I reached for my coffee, Noah tugged on my sleeve. His face looked serious in a way no child should ever look. He waited until Emily stepped outside to collect the morning newspaper. He looked straight into my eyes. "Dad, don't trust Mom." For a second I laughed because I thought he was pretending to be a detective from one of his favorite television shows. But Noah did not smile. His hands shook as he whispered again. "Please don't tell her I said anything." Emily came back inside before I could ask another question. Noah instantly became quiet and stared down at his cereal. I looked at my wife. She smiled at me, the same warm smile I had seen for almost 10 years. Nothing about her seemed different. Still, those words stayed in my mind all day. I tried to forget them while sitting through meetings and answering emails. Children imagine strange things all the time. Maybe Noah had misunderstood something. Maybe he was upset because Emily had punished him for leaving his toys in the yard. That evening I casually asked Noah what he had meant. He looked around to make sure Emily was not nearby. I heard her talking to someone. Who was she talking to? I don't know. What did she say? She said Dad can never know. A cold feeling settled in my stomach. I wanted to believe there had to be a simple explanation. Emily volunteered at the community center. She often planned birthday surprises for friends and family. There were many innocent reasons for secret conversations. But doubt had already found a place inside my heart. Over the next week I started paying closer attention. Emily seemed distracted more often. She smiled at her phone before quickly locking the screen whenever I entered the room. She made excuses to run errands alone. One evening she said she was helping a friend after work and came home nearly 2 hours late. I hated myself for noticing these things because I had never wanted to become a suspicious husband. One Saturday Noah walked into the garage while I was cleaning old tools. "Dad." "Yes, buddy." She met the same man again. My hands froze. "What man?" "The one with the gray car." "Where did you see him?" "Outside the grocery store." Mom hugged him. I felt as though someone had punched me in the chest. I did not confront Emily that night. Instead I lay awake staring at the ceiling while she slept peacefully beside me. Every memory from the past few weeks suddenly looked different. Every late arrival and every phone call felt suspicious. The following Monday I left work early without telling anyone. I parked across the street from the grocery store where Emily usually shopped after work. 40 minutes later her car arrived. She stepped out carrying her purse and looked around before walking toward a silver-gray sedan parked near the entrance. A tall man got out. He hugged her. My heart shattered. I wanted to storm across the parking lot and demand answers. Instead I stayed hidden and watched them talk for several minutes before walking into a nearby coffee shop. I drove home completely numb. That night Emily noticed my silence. "Are you okay?" "I am just tired." She touched my shoulder but I pulled away without thinking. Pain flashed across her face. The next morning Noah quietly slipped a folded piece of paper into my hand before school. I found this in Mom's desk. Inside was a business card with the name of a private investigator. Now my thoughts became even darker. Why would my wife hire a private investigator without telling me? I searched online and found the office address. The next afternoon I walked into the building pretending to be a potential customer. The receptionist apologized and explained that the investigator was unavailable because he was meeting with another client. Before leaving I glanced toward an open office door. Emily was sitting inside. She looked shocked when she saw me. For several seconds neither of us spoke. Finally she stood. "You were not supposed to find out like this." Anger exploded inside me. "So there really are secrets?" She slowly nodded. "Come with me." We walked into a quiet conference room. I expected her to admit she was having an affair. Instead she placed a thick folder on the table. "I hired him to find your brother." I stared at her in confusion. My younger brother Daniel had disappeared 15 years earlier after struggling with addiction. Police never found him. Our parents died believing he was gone forever. You told me you had accepted that he was gone. I lied because I wanted to surprise you if we ever found him. She opened the folder. Inside were photographs and reports. The investigator had traced Daniel to another state where he had been living under a different name. He is alive. My eyes filled with tears. I wanted to bring him home for your birthday next month. I could barely breathe. What about the man at the grocery store? He works for the investigator. He updates me because he travels here from another city. And the hugs. She smiled through tears. His wife just finished cancer treatment. I congratulated him. I felt ashamed. Every terrible story I had imagined collapsed in an instant. Then another question entered my mind. Noah heard you say I could never know. Emily laughed softly. Because I wanted this to be the biggest surprise of your life. When we returned home I hugged Noah tightly. You were trying to protect me. He nodded. I thought Mom was hiding something bad. Emily knelt beside him and wrapped both of us in her arms. You did the right thing by telling your dad what worried you. Noah looked relieved. I didn't want our family to get hurt. A month later my birthday arrived. Emily invited close friends and neighbors for what I believed was a simple dinner. Halfway through the evening the front door opened. A man stepped inside. Older. Healthier. His hair carried streaks of gray. But I recognized him instantly. Daniel. He looked at me with tears running down his face. I am sorry it took me so long to come home. I crossed the room and embraced my brother as years of grief disappeared in one unforgettable moment. The room filled with quiet applause while Emily smiled from across the table. Later that night after everyone had left I sat on the back porch with Noah beside me. You saved me from carrying fear alone. He looked confused. I thought I made everything worse. You reminded me that families should talk instead of hiding their worries. He leaned against my shoulder. I love you, Dad. I love you too. I looked through the window where Emily and Daniel were laughing together while washing the dishes. For one terrible week I had believed my marriage was ending. Instead I discovered something even more powerful than trust. I discovered that love sometimes hides behind silence not because it wants to deceive but because it hopes to give someone a reason to smile again. Even so I learned that secrets can easily become fears when people stop talking to each other. Since that day Emily and I promised that no surprise would ever be worth risking our family's peace again. Noah grew up knowing that honesty and kindness are stronger than suspicion. Every birthday after that became a celebration not only of another year of life but of the day our family found its way back to one another. And whenever I remember the words my son whispered that quiet morning I no longer hear fear. I hear the voice of a little boy who loved his father enough to speak when something did not feel right. That simple act of courage reminded all of us that trust is built every single day through love, patience and the willingness to listen before making judgment.